Tashomi's Harmony and Hustle.
With this, I feel like I can share experiences I've had along the way, which you can't learn at school really, because it has to be from someone who's done it, and just to share what I've kind of witnessed really. You know, just things like I was saying earlier, like rehearsal etiquette, touring etiquette, like tour bus, how to kind of present yourself and managing yourself, finances, and I mean that can be taught, but you know, more like what I've experienced going through auditions and things like that. I think it could be quite useful for some people, because you have to sort of find these ways by yourself usually, right? Welcome. Oh, we're straight in.
Straight in. Why not, mate?
Nice.
Why not?
Got the ashwagandha going.
Good. Yes, exactly. I wanted to make you a pumpkin latte, but we're a little bit pressed for time, so
that's all right. That would have been
ashwagandha
nice.
will
This
do.
is good. How's it going?
Oh, really good, man. Really good. Like I was just saying, it's been so much has happened since we last saw each other.
At least 5. Well, coming into 6 years, I think.
6 years, easily. Long time I haven't seen my Guyanese brother. Do you know what I mean?
It's good. It's not every day you see the Guyanese.
Yes, exactly, bro. So, I mean, there's so many places I could go with you with this because you're a busy boy, to say the very least. But before any of all of that stuff, before the busyness and before like big stages, you're just playing your guitar for fun, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
How did it all start?
Right from the beginning?
Right from the top.
Yeah, well, basically when my parents divorced, I was really young. I was about 9 and my brother was 6. And we used to go to my dad's every other weekend.
Okay.
And he had guitars lying around. It was this kind of way of like dealing with a breakup, I guess. And he just kind of noodled about. But we picked them up and took interest in it. And I think because we were doing that together, he saw that and then got us a few lessons, and it just kind of escalated from there, really. We'd have like half an hour each, and we'd learn the same thing, but individually or sometimes together. And then when we'd be at our mum's, we'd practice it and then go back to my dad's. We'd be like, right, let me see what you learned. And it was like a friendly competition, because if he learned something like on point and I was a bit behind, I'd be like, oh, I need to.
Yeah.
So we grew up doing that together.
Nice.
And that's from like 9 and 6, and then carried on after that. Just loved playing. Didn't really think of it as a career at all, and just knew that it was a thing that I liked to do. And then again, my dad was like, there's a place called the BRIT School, and I think you should apply. And I was 14 at the time, and I did. And again, it was just for the love of music, and it still is today, but no idea of career or anything. And I was at kind of like an all-boys school before. It was a bit rough, and you know, I was like one of few musicians in there. So when I got to this place, it was like, oh my God, everyone's creative. You've got dancers, theatre, musical theatre, musicians, and it was just like a unbelievable experience for like a young 14-year-old to experience for the first time, having other creatives in the same place. So that was that. I was there for 4 years, and then I went to Leeds College of Music, which is now the Conservatoire, and did that for my BA Pop. And that's when I kind of saw people doing what I'm doing today and thought, I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then just after that, it was like a kind of slow progress to making it a full-time career, really. That's kind of the brief journey.
So what secondary school did you go to out of interest?
It was Kelsey Park, which isn't a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
In Beckenham.
Okay, yeah. Is it closed now?
It's a Harris now, I think. It's still there.
It's slowly taken over.
Yeah.
Those academies.
It was cool. I enjoyed it, but yeah, it was a difference in going from that to like a creative.
Yeah,
school,
of course. Because like you said, it's a bit of a rough school. I went to Forrestal Boys. Not
I
as
got
rough,
in there. I was going to go.
Yeah, was you?
Yeah, I was so close to going.
Oh man, their music department wasn't great. So
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, not many are as good as BRIT School anyway. So
Right.
you go to BRIT School, you're around everybody who's creative, everybody's making music, and by the sounds of things, that then just became what your life was about. Were you ever interested in doing anything else, or was it always just making music?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed drama at school. And then when we got to BRIT, we did all our normal subjects, and then we did like music, whatever you audition for as your main sort of BTEC.
Yeah.
So when you got a chance to do some other GCSEs to choose from, like art or drama, and then all your normal subjects, and it was one of the two, and I almost went for drama, but ended up doing art. That's always one that I feel like I would have maybe liked to explore a bit, acting, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's still time.
Yeah.
Between gigs.
That's it. Let's see. But yeah, music's always been the thing that I've just loved and done, really.
Yeah, sure. So you're a guitarist. You started, I guess, sort of almost randomly. Were there any desires to make music before then, or did the guitar just happen to pique your fancy and then here we are, basically?
Kind of. I just, like I say, from those lessons that we had as kids, me and my brother, it became the thing that I do. And
Yeah.
when I got to BRIT and we were sort of seeing other people that were in a similar position, it just inspired me even more to carry on. And then by, like I say, university and knowing what kind of career is out there, which is what I'm doing now, was the one that was like, I want to do that. And that's all I knew. I didn't know I'd think about anything else. And it was just, there was a good sort of 3 years where that was my mindset, really.
Yeah.
Seeing people doing the thing, like on stage, and at the time it was guys like Rick James, Ben Jones, all those guys that were, they were doing that, and I was like, that's kind of what I want to be doing.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this question later on down the line, but it sort of leads into it. So at what point did those you looked up to sort of go from a dream to a reality, and then you are now in the position that others are looking up to you at?
That's a good question. I mean, it's sort of, because for me, it wasn't like do an audition, bang, you're kind of got a dream gig or something, because I think it was about from 21 when I graduated, I was just trying to do everything I could, like jam nights, free gigs, low paid or anything, whatever, just do it.
Yeah.
Loads of auditions, didn't get any joy with those. And then sort of from 25, I got a few more things. I was in like a lot of UK soul bands like Loose Ends, playing with them, and Jodeci R&B thing once when I was like 22. And then from that, it kind of built into that world. Like Donny and Heston and these kind of like UK soul acts and things, which were great. And then I always had like a part-time job to support that.
Yeah.
So anything, any 0-hour job, working the O2, pubs, it's all part of the growing process, really, which is great. And then I got an audition when I was like 27 for Anne-Marie. And then from there, I actually got that, which was great. And it was like a snowball effect of other work, which led to other work. But it was a steady trajectory. It wasn't like an overnight thing.
It's really important what you're saying there. Even though you had the experience of playing for people like Jodeci and whatnot, you're still doing a part-time job. It's still a very real factor in, hey, I've got to live. And yes, I want to make music full-time. Yes, I absolutely want to do that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sacrifice, my living as such. Do you know what I mean? Still have to make money. And that's not compromising on what your goals are. That's just being realistic with where you are at the moment.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were working your other job, was there a part of you which sort of was like, if the music isn't going to work out, then at least I could do this? Or
I'd never had that, but like I'm sure people do, and I get it. But for me, it was just that's what I had to do almost. I don't know. It was a weird one. I just knew what my dreams were, and I just did whatever I could to carry on. And I'm very grateful that it's doing that now, and I hope it does carry on. But at the time, I was very focused in just believing in that.
Yeah, obsessed, pretty much.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I didn't think it at the time, but when I look back at it, I was like, Jesus, you were doing like everything. And like, I just remember like getting people to cover my shifts at work. Like, I've got to do like for a time, like no rehearsal, small, but like for something that now that you look back on, it's like, okay, it might have not been for like crazy money or an artist that's like really like, sort of up there at the minute. but it all meant something at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's important. It's important to really hone in on what you want to do, I'd say.
I think it's very important, man. Do you have to have, what does the Bible say? Write down your vision and make it plain. I don't know why I'm quoting the Bible. I'm not Christian,
but that's
it's
true,
just real content. Going back to like BRIT School, are there any like key takeaways? Because one thing I always like finding out from people who have made a journey in music and made it a career of themselves, I like to find out what were the key sort of nuggets of wisdom they heard along the way that, let's say, sort of not so much drives, but that was always present, always in the back of the mind, and actually has kept them going with their music journey. Like, do you have any sort of key takeaways from BRIT School and from some of the lecturers there?
Do you know what? The thing that I got most out of BRIT is, like I say, having like-minded people that just love doing what you do. Mm-hmm. So to see them and their work, their practice regime and things like that, I was just like, oh my God, I don't do it. I couldn't even hold a pick back then. I was like more like playing flamenco nylon thing.
Yeah.
But it was just an amazing experience to be involved with people like that. And the teachers, you know, giving their sort of knowledge and experience of their journey, and also just trying to like get you ready for what might happen after. Yeah. And like teaching you an array of modules within the sort of syllabus, which is great. So for me, it was having that really honed into music, whereas before I didn't. It was like you just have an hour a week, but this was like a lot more.
Yeah, sure.
So the practice, teachers, and just being in that environment.
Mm-hmm. So you make the step up now. So now we've gone from some of the smaller gigs to some more sizable gigs, some more notable gigs. Did you have to change within yourself in order to manage some of the bigger gigs? Or have you always just been the way you are and you've not necessarily had to do any working in the back end? I guess what I'm saying is like, once they've evolved, have you had to evolve with them?
It's hard because I don't think people teach you. You can't get taught about how to go from one gig to another and how to conduct yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, if someone's had the experience, then sure, you can like relay that information to them. But yeah, you just got to learn a load of things on the way. There's certain etiquettes you have to like adhere to. Just being professional, obviously being yourself always. I always say be yourself, but then you've got to think about the people you're working with. Essentially, you're living with these people on the road. Yeah. And like on a bigger scale, it can be like, you know, tour bus for months. And you're only playing for an hour or two. And then the rest of the time, you're essentially living with people. You're waking up, there's someone making a coffee downstairs. It's like, how can you sort of slot in and make yourself livable, really?
I
think that's the main thing. And even more so, the higher up you get on the gig scale, because these big stadium gigs are like, it's like clockwork, it's like a big machine.
Yeah.
I'd say. So you've got to just know your spot, know how to slot in, be presentable, and just be on time. Like be on time. And there's so many, I mean, we can kind of diverge a bit, but like your material and how you're learning at home before you get to even rehearse at these things. And just fully knowing yourself as a person and kind of, like I say, slotting into that environment.
Have you seen musicians get a big gig and then not be able to hold on to it and then get replaced, and then that person who they're replaced with isn't necessarily technically or skillfully any better, but for whatever reason they're able to hold on to the gig?
I have, yeah.
What makes a musician lose a gig like that? And I guess you've already answered what makes a musician keep a gig like that.
I mean, obviously different things. It depends on what's going on, but ego is a lot of thing. There's some amazing players out there, but they might have a bit of an ego issue. And it's just being able to hold it down, because no one in any job wants that, do they? So, you know, that. And again, depending on the artist, like sticking to parts.
Right.
I've seen people play out too much in a certain thing, and they've kind of been like, okay, that's not what we've rehearsed, or changing things. Again, that depends on the artist. I've worked with some that want you to do that, but you just got to judge it and learn, you know, but I've seen that happen before.
Where somebody's like has a moment of inspiration.
A bit like,
Yeah, and
it depends on the artist. If it's like really pop stuff, like radio things, sometimes it's got to be straight.
yeah, sure. Somebody said this to me, right? They said there's a keyboard player. I can't remember who it was, but he's done like a lot of stadium big gigs for a lot of really big artists, and he was saying how with the smaller gigs, there's so much more musicality involved. And almost the bigger the gig, the less skill is actually required. Did you find that?
Yeah, but sometimes it's like the gigs also that are like the least paid are sometimes the hardest ones. Like there's so much material and arrangements. You like, it kind of just like brings you back down to realise that, oh yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know?
But for some of the bigger ones, actually, it's just
4 chords.
yeah. 1, 6, 4, 5.
Yeah. Just you're just part of the sounds that they want.
Yeah.
You know, some people just want it like the record, so you just got to respect that.
So take me through like a day playing. Okay, let's. You're a very humble person, but I'm gonna stoke your ego a little bit. Biggest gig. What did the day of that look like? Like the biggest. So when I say biggest, that could be interpreted 1,000 ways. But let's just say, for argument's sake, the most amount of people for one particular gig. Like, what did the day look like, and how did it feel?
Okay, well, the Ed Sheeran gig I've been doing recently, sort of on and off for 4 years, but with the last year we did a 6-month run, and it was all stadiums. So, you know, I think max was 120,000. But everything before and after that is just like completely different. It's that one bit on stage with all those people. And the rest of the time, you know, you're waking up. This is a day, let's say I was going in and out every weekend, right? So I'd get up at home, meet the guys at the airport, the rest of the band. We'd fly into the city that we were playing. That would be our travel day. So we'd normally get something to eat, catch up, get a fairly early night because the next day would be our gig day.
Yeah.
So wake up in the hotel. I'd normally go to the gym with the MD or whoever else was on it, kind of get your mind right, body right, because it's important. You can be, you know, gigging away, and if you're not looking after yourself, loads of stuff, alcohol, whatever, not eating well, it all has an effect.
Yeah.
So for me, it was gym, eat some good food, get to sound check. There would normally be, on this gig, he would have a guest every new city he played at. So at home, we would pre-learn that stuff. Like on our kind of fractal, whatever we were using, we would take the presets and then have them on like a hard drive, plug them in, show the MD and everyone what we've come up with, and work on it. No rehearsal time really. It was sound check was our rehearsals. It was very like, you had to be quick. And then we'd work on that for an hour, along with any other songs that they wanted to sort of hear. And then Ed would come on with the artist, and then we'd play it in front of them. So it was very much like quick hour. Okay, that sounds good. Let's see if they like it. So it was very important that we had our homework done.
Yeah.
Way before the sound check. Did all that, went through it. They were happy, hopefully. And then we'd probably go through some other songs with Ed. It's like a 2-hour sound check now. Finish. Lunch, we had catering on site, which was always really nice. And then hang around, you know, do some other maybe stuff on Logic that you're working on, like just downtime for a few hours. And then by 8 o'clock, it'd be, you get picked up and then walk through to the stadium where you're playing. The show was about 2.5 hours, sometimes a little bit more. And as the band, we kind of go on and off for certain songs, so it wasn't on the whole time. Ed would be doing his thing, we'd come on and off. And then afterwards, chill for a bit, and then normally back to the hotel, wind down for an hour or so, and then that's it. Yeah.
I asked Rob this question, and I'm going to ask you the same question. When you envisaged this happening, when you had the vision of playing at the highest level, now you have been able to make that a reality. Does it look anything like you thought it would?
Do you know what's funny? Because I actually did write it down. I wrote down a lot of stuff when I was in like mid-20s, things I wanted to do, and it has happened. I'm not saying that you write down it happens, but I do kind of believe that it forces you to kind of go for it a bit more, seeing it on paper.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, that has helped. Yeah, I still don't feel like I'm finished. I feel like there's more to do. I'm not quite sure what.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, it does blow my mind every day. I still go to bed and think, like, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. You're essentially, the job is that we all do is like playing for people and making them feel an emotion and feel happy or sad. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it is amazing.
Does it give you the feeling that you... I guess I'm probing a bit because I feel like oversimplification. Pizza Hut used to be, when I was a kid, used to be absolutely incredible, right? I used to absolutely love it. And then years passed. Oh, let me order a Pizza Hut.
And then you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and it doesn't quite hit the same, that, you know, it didn't quite hit the same way. And I guess I'm just wondering because, like, I know if you're doing any gig really, there's so much to think about, there's so much to be concerned about. Yes, you absolutely want to be in the present. And I don't want to put an answer into your mouth. I'm just sort of saying my perspective. You know, you want to be present, you want to make sure that you're doing it right, you're doing a good job, are the people enjoying it, am I hitting the right lines, yada, 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 yada. And there's so much mental processing going on sometimes that when the gig is done, you thought about it too much. So the gig is now done. The experience was incredible, but maybe some of that was taken away a bit because of whatever was said in the dressing room or yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I guess I'm just wondering, in terms of when you're writing it down and you're visualizing it, and I think that's huge, by the way. I think it's absolutely massive doing that. I've seen a lot of change in my life just from having things written down and sort of, like you said, seeing it and having something to work towards. When that thing materializes, does it feel the way that you thought it would feel?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Not completely. Because when you write it down, you're like, yeah, this is going to be... And it is amazing, but you don't think about all the other things, like, I don't know, you might not get on with someone on the team, for example, or maybe something you don't like playing. I don't know. Like, there are things like that.
Yeah.
It's just part of life, isn't it? There's not any job where you're going to be like, every single little thing is perfect. So
Sure.
But yeah, I wasn't thinking about that when I was writing it down. But I wouldn't change it for anything. It's great.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But yeah, I get what you mean. It's interesting.
Yeah, thinking about it, like, it's the ballpark was to play my instrument and, you know, have that be the thing that sustains me whilst also being able to give back. So we're in that ballpark. Obviously, what the little bits look like, that's going to change. But on the giving back part, so you've had musicians and school given to you. Do you know what I mean? You had your dad having the guitar lessons and your brothers going back and forward. So you've had musical support. And you find yourself now in a part of your life where you also want to give back and support musicians.
Yeah.
You were speaking to me a little bit before about some of your ideas. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of sort of doing like maybe like call it like a mentorship thing, like a one-to-one session with people, especially for like younger people or just people who are trying to get into doing session work and touring. And it was more like, because I've tried teaching guitar and it's not really for me, it's not for everyone, you know. But with this, I feel like I can share experiences I've had along the way, which you can't learn at school really, because it has to be from someone who's done it. And just to share what I've kind of witnessed really. You know, just things like I was saying earlier, like rehearsal etiquette, touring etiquette, like tour bus, how to kind of present yourself and managing yourself, finances, and I mean that it can be taught, but you know, more like what I've experienced going through auditions and things like that. I think could be quite useful for some people because you have to sort of find these ways by yourself usually, right? Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, that could be toying with that idea.
I mean, similar to yourself, that's what for me this podcast is about, because there's a lot of gems that we don't actually know. We've got to learn in the moment, and I have learned in the moment many times. The easy way and the hard way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. Naturally. Sometimes losing a gig because of things you might have done, maybe I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything, recording, PPL, what your own splits, like there's just so many things, and I still don't know like all of it at all. But at least I can share things that I have witnessed and been like, maybe try this, that, you know.
Yeah.
QuickBooks, I mean, all of that stuff.
Of course. So one thing you have witnessed, I think, is a bunch of different artists, right? And you've seen them up close, you've seen them personally. What would you say is a commonality in those artists that you've seen that sort of keep them interesting, keep them successful, keep them at the top of their game, keep them continually selling out and just doing well? What do they have in common?
That they're nice and they're humble and they are down to earth.
Oh, wow.
The ones that, for me, that I've experienced that do well are the ones that are just like someone you'd meet down the pub or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a massive thing. If you can remain humble and do your job really well and like just be a nice person, that you're gonna do all right.
Yeah.
And especially these people at the top who are like I mean, you know, killing it, and they're just lovely people. Yeah, that's what kind of shines through for me.
Just being humble.
Obviously, you've got to be extremely talented, like the Ed and Anne-Marie and all these people have done really well, but they're talented.
Of course, yeah.
But also you can talk to them on a level and they're not, I'm better than you kind of vibe.
They're just approachable people.
Yeah.
They still remember their people.
Yeah, they've come, the people that have grafted from, yes, exactly. They still remember their people. And normally it's the ones that have come from no handouts and they've just like grinded through and they're extremely now successful. But like I say, they're just nice.
Yeah, sure. Have you got any takeaways? Maybe something you didn't realise was a byproduct of doing a large sort of stadium gig? Is anything sort of, I don't know, this is more of a bit of a profound question in terms of not many people in their life will be in a position to be centre stage to a very large audience. Most people wouldn't even want to. Do you know, people have nightmares about being on stage and the trousers are down. Do you know what I mean? That's the worst thing, be in front of people. I have to talk.
Mate, I can't even get on karaoke. I can do that, but I can't. It's so weird. I just can't do it. I'm terrified.
There's something about the much smaller ones which are a bit scary. Singing though.
Yeah, or just a little. Do you find that? Like sometimes on a smaller stage and it's a showcase, or like live lounge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine, but like I do get more nervous doing that.
I do get, because the people are closer. You can see all the.
It's like red light. Okay, go. It's like.
Yeah. I do get a little bit more, hot under the collar when I'm playing for
Sweaty
a smaller
pit.
group. But so yeah, times that room by 100,000, literally in your case. So when you've got that, like, what is, and again, I guess maybe, I don't want to answer the question for you. Maybe there isn't much time to think about how mentally sort of crazy that would be in a room or an arena full of people. But are there any like takeaways from that? Like any profound truths you think you've sort of noticed about just commanding a stage that big?
What things to take away from doing it, or how to get
No, from doing it, I would say.
Just me and my friend Dexter, the drummer, we always were kind of like, had a little pep talk before, and we just kind of arm in arm be like, just take it in, like be in the moment today, because that is a rare opportunity. That kind of gig doesn't happen. You might never get one again in your life, you know? So just be in it, because that hour will go so quickly.
Yeah.
Just be really, really present. I know it just probably sounds like nothing, but actually it is
huge.
Yeah, be there.
Of course.
Just really give it your all and take it in. You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, man.
So just be thankful and positive.
Yeah, of course.
So we'd always say that most days. We kind of go out for sound check and be like, he kind of grab me on the shoulder. He's like, come on. And we're like, yeah, you're right. It's true.
Let's do the thing. Brother, lastly, I ask all my guests this question. What is the single most valuable opinion you have of yourself?
Wow. Just be true to yourself, you know. Know your worth. Like, when I was younger, people take advantage of you. They just do. If you're not experienced, it's gonna happen. Grow with it, keep the ego down, but also just stand up and speak what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
I find that hard to do now sometimes, but like, I'm more aware of it, you know? There's a lot of people higher up that are necessarily not always right, but in a professional way, just be true to yourself and say what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's easy to get walked over. I see it happen all the time. You know, if you're on a gig, it's for a reason, because you're good enough to do it. So like, if they're trying to just take the piss with fees and stuff, there's no harm in saying, actually, it's this.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere and build that up. And yeah, not even that, just anything. Like, just be collaborative as well in the room if you can, if that's allowed to be. You know, with Ed, it was a bit of a collaborative experience with the MD. Some aren't, but some are. And if they're inviting you to do that, come up with ideas, because then they might be like, do you want to cover a project for me? You know? So, yeah, know your worth and be true to yourself, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. Tom?
Nice one.
I appreciate you.
That was good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, same. And thanks for coming over. Thanks for coming to the home, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And the ashwagandha water, then.
Oh, you're very welcome. This is so good. This calms the nerves right down. Love
good
this stuff. Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you. That was great.